wonderful!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Good Bit podcast, and for the first time ever, welcome to an episode of the Good Bit that is a part 2. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, part number 2 of our special Harry Potter edition of the Good Bit podcast is here, and it is now, and we are here to talk about the Final Four. That's right, not the old WWF In Your House pay-per-view. I'm talking about the Final Four Harry Potter films, ranging all the way from the Order of the Phoenix, the Half-Blood Prince, and the 2 Deathly Hallows movies. Before we get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who downloaded part number 1. It was a huge success, and it is, in terms of time from week to week, it's one of our fastest, highest rated shows, I suppose. Getting a lot of listens within the week. Normally what I like to do is upload episodes every 2 weeks if I can, and if not, obviously it's a longer time, I suppose, 3 weeks to a month, I suppose. And those episodes always get the highest listens because obviously there's more time between episodes, and if people want to check out the show, they'll just check out the latest one, and if that's the latest one there, then they'll download that one. Those are the ones that have got kind of the highest numbers, are the ones that have been been an episode, then a long gap to the next one. Whereas this one has been a week for the first time. I've done, a Friday to a Friday, 1 week, between the episodes. And part 1 has done incredibly well. I didn't expect it to do this well whatsoever. So I want to thank each and every one of you who downloaded the episode. And if you've listening to this one, have not heard part 1, then what are you doing, man? Check out part 1, which is of course available here on iTunes, and of course at thegoodbit.podomatic.com. You can find all information and all links on Twitter at The Good Bit Pod, and you can follow me exclusively, me, Chris Moffat, your host, at CM42TV. You can also get us on Instagram at The Good Bit Pod, Facebook.com/The Good Bit Podcast, and all exclusive content that you can find in video form. That's right, video. YouTube.com/CM42TV as well. All information, as you know, will be in the description box provided, and I hope you enjoy part number 2 of the Harry Potter edition of the Good Bit Podcast as we run down the final 4 Harry Potter films and we discuss our favourite Harry Potter characters. Until next time, thank you for listening, and here we go with part 2 of our very special Harry Potter special.
You just made the list!
Okay, 3, 2, 1. This...
Please keep that in.
This is the Good Bit Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our special Harry Potter 2-parter. This is indeed part number 2. You're disgusting. This is indeed part number 2 of our Harry Potter episode, as we cover the final 4 Harry Potter films, and later we do our top 5 favourite Harry Potter characters. And once again, I am joined by 3 absolutely stunning, beautiful and intelligent people on the show today. That makes a first. Joining again,
it's actually a second.
Sexy Nips, yeah. Hey, Sexy Nips herself, it's Leanne McMaster.
Oh, woo, it's me!
Back again. How was your week?
It's been good.
And also joined by Curly Sue. Claudia Kelly's back.
Hi.
You okay?
How are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Had a nice pee.
Yeah, I did actually. How did you know?
Yeah, because we took a wee break there, ladies and gentlemen.
Really good pee. I feel like we've gone into a bit of hysterics.
Yeah, we have a little bit. Good luck listening to this episode. Good luck to future Chris, who will have to edit this one. And and also, back on the show, it's Neville, the man that gravity forgot. It's Neve Barr.
Hi.
More confident this time.
Hi.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Moffat again, the face that runs the place.
It's funny because no one ever sees your face.
That is weird. That is very funny.
Although on the Twitter and stuff you put photos. So.
On the Twitter and the Instagram. Yeah.
At the Good Pit Pod.
I know, at the Good Pit.
The Good Pit.
The Good Pit Pod.
I've got a photo for you that
The Good Pit Bod.
that you're going to be putting up for when you announce this episode.
Is it your Wampum Willow?
You dressed as Harry Potter.
Wampum Willow.
No, we're all putting a photo of ourselves.
Okay.
I've got a picture of me dressed up as Bellatrix Lestrange.
Which I have to see.
We're such
And
lovely people.
Yeah.
Right, back in the room.
yes, this is our part 2 of our Harry Potter edition, and if you're listening to this one and haven't listened to part 1, what the hell are you doing with your life? I think you should go and check out episode 1, or sorry, part 1 of the Harry Potter
Also,
edition.
episode 1.
Yeah.
Just go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
Watch
go back to episode 1 of this and make your way up here. And the first part, we talked about the first 4 Harry Potter films. We did our top 3 favourite films that the Harry Potter franchise have released. And yeah, it was good. It was about an hour and a half long. If you're bored and got nothing else to do, go listen to that one. Oh my god!
Right,
We
everyone,
had just spatter water everywhere.
yeah, just spatter water.
What are you
everywhere.
doing?
Everywhere.
It's only under the
Excuse
table.
you.
Sorry, that was a good spit take. If
It
only
was,
this was a
good,
video.
it was a good spit take.
Oh
Oh, your
my
water came out. Go-
Good
Oh,
lord.
good me. Good, well,
I'll pause it if you want to go
it's
clean.
fine. I'll just Tito. Carry on.
If you we will. Yeah, so anything you guys want to say about the first episode we did?
I had a
Really?
good time.
Yeah, everyone was a lot more civilised than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, let's see
But-
if that continues.
I know.
That
Well,
probably will not.
We have not reached a subject I find controversial.
No, we have not.
Half-Blood Prince.
Yes, and also we've just spilled water everywhere.
Sorry.
That's okay. Shall we just get right into it, or do you want
Yes, will become chaotic at
Yeah.
some point.
So basically what I'm saying is I recommend you listening to part 1 before you listen to this one, as we covered from Philosopher's Stone all the way to Goblet of Fire, and now we're starting off with Harry Potter number 5, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which was released on the 12th of July 2007, and director was the director that stayed on to the final film, David Yates.
Oh, man.
What do we make of old Dave?
He's done a good job, eh?
Yeah,
Choppy.
he's done a good job.
Eh?
And this has a 7.5 IMDb average, a 71 Metascore, which isn't as good as the other ones. However, I thought this one was okay.
That's a good film. I
I
like
quite
it.
like Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one that they had to miss out most stuff out of the book
Yeah.
because of the book
Is
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 that the biggest book?
absolutely
But also-
huge.
My
Comma.
heart broke in this film.
Oh no.
For
Sirius Black.
Oh. Oh no.
I killed Sirius Black.
I killed Sirius Black. Even though that scene kills me
Yeah.
because one Sirius dies.
It's the
And-
silence.
It's the silence, but also it's when Sirius turns to Harry and calls him James.
Oh, yeah.
Just out of reflex. And
He's
then,
like, nice one, James.
yeah, and he dies laughing.
Mm.
He's just having fun. He's laughing, and then he dies, and everything goes silent.
It's
And
yeah.
Harry's reaction is completely.
The director said that he wished he'd slowed it down even more, like because it's slow motion and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And it's the scream, like, because he made it silent, obviously. And he said it's because Daniel's scream was just too much. Like, you couldn't, like, having it in the film would just be too much. It'd be too horrible to watch. So they had to make it silent. But it was beautiful, like, the way they do it. And then the way
beautiful.
it's, like, silence, and then it, like, slowly fades into, like, Bellatrix chanting, I killed Sirius Black. Like,
Yeah.
Well, this is a nice way to start off episode. To start off the episode. Basically, if you're just listening to this one and you've not heard the first part, I'll just remind everybody here that I'm surrounded by 3 huge Harry Potter fans, and I'm just kind of a follower. So I don't really.
Slytherin.
I'm not as much. Yeah, we've got a Slytherin here. I'm a Ravenclaw.
Gryffindor,
Gryffindor and a
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff in the corner there. But some people like to intertwine. You know, it's not
Slitherpuff.
a
Slitherpuff.
Yeah.
Although I mean,
Gryffindor?
if you were in Hogwarts, you would have been in one of the houses.
Yeah.
yes,
true.
I know, but
Follow the rules
J.K. Rowling herself has tweeted saying Slitherpuffs are real, so get it up, you.
Yeah, get it up, you.
I'm just a plain old Slytherin.
Yeah, there you go.
Boring.
For Order of the Phoenix, Harry can't get people to believe him that Voldemort is really back.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I don't like this film
Yeah.
as much.
It just annoys you
As
because you're like,
much.
why don't they believe him?
I know.
Just why don't
Yeah,
they?
the Ministry had decided to step in by appointing a new defence against the dark arts teacher that proves to be the nastiest person Harry has ever encountered.
There's just so many points of this film.
Is that what she does?
Yeah, she's always
Oh god, that would be annoying.
she's so sickly sweet.
To top it all off, are dreams that Harry can't explain and a mystery behind something Voldemort is searching for. With these many things, Harry begins one of the toughest years at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Nicely
I
summed.
agree.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Umbridge, people not believing about
Then he starts-
Voldemort.
It's definitely got one
He
of
starts
sass-
Dumbledore's
one of his,
army.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
got one of his sassiest moments though
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
When they're in the forest, when
must not
Umbridge is like, Harry, save me, tell them I'm good. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, Professor, I must not tell lies. You're like, Harry.
Come on, Hazza.
That was book Harry.
That
through
was
and
book
through.
Harry through and through.
Book, so it is a good question. So is there a huge difference between book Harry and film Harry?
Book Harry's just sassier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You've told
Book
me that
Harry's
before.
also more annoying because you get his inner monologue, especially in this book, right? He just complains
Oh yeah, because
all the time
all
because
about like Cho Chang.
yeah, and then because Dumbledore is ignoring him in this one,
Yeah.
and then also Ron and Hermione were told to keep some things from to protect him, and he's just so like bitchy. The full book, it's kind of difficult to read.
Yeah.
Less
Oh,
so
really?
in the movie.
Okay.
No, it's not difficult to read like the Harry Potter books, but like
Yeah.
you're like stop moaning.
They're just like, shut the fuck up, Harry. Get on with it.
I
Get
love-
over your
I
life.
I love meeting the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
I love meeting them and going to Grimmauld Place.
This is
We're also introduced to Luna.
yeah. Which can I
Luna.
just say,
She's
I
great.
love her. Love
Luna
her so
Lovegood.
much. Luna Lovegood, amazing. Girl who plays her in the movie, she's perfect for Harry Potter. She's a fucking shite actress.
Oh, really?
Anytime else, she was in like that GBF, like Gay Best Friend. She's awful. Anything I've seen her in apart from Harry Potter, she's genuinely atrocious.
She was the perfect Luna.
Yeah, like she was.
Perfect Luna.
She was Luna, and that was it. But when she tried to act in anything else, I would please fuck off. Stop.
So the
just stop.
opposite from Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
There
just
you go.
stop. It's annoying. I see her and I'm like, can you? No, I give up.
Can you just stop?
Can you just not? Because you're taking jobs away from people who can actually act. Hello.
My name's Len.
Who does Matthew Lewis play?
Neville Longbottom.
Okay.
Neville.
For fuck's sake, Neve.
Stop the phone. My favourite fun fact out of the whole Harry Potter series. During filming, Alan Rickman banned Matthew Lewis and Rupert Grint from being within 5 metres of his new BMW because during the making of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, they spilled a milkshake in his car.
I've heard that.
I just love that they have like little stories about
Yeah.
stuff that they did with like these
Yeah.
amazing
The one where
actors.
Rupert was drawing a picture
Of Snape,
and then
yeah.
Alan Rickman kept it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I just wish that I was in the movie so
I
I
would
could
feel
have this life.
so bad if I'd done something to Alan Rickman's car. Do you know what I mean?
God.
But then
Yeah.
they've grown up with him, so they're like,
Is that
Yeah, I
Alan?
would still feel bad if I
Uncle
spilled a
Rickman.
milkshake all of my mum or dad's.
Uncle
Uncle
Rickman.
Rickman.
Oh,
The earrings worn by Luna Lovegood were actually made by Ivana Lynch, who is the actress playing her. So she
the
made her own
radish
earrings.
ones.
What?
The radish ones.
The earrings. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's just earrings. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is one of only 2 Harry Potter films not to be nominated for an Oscar in some category. The other one was Chamber of Secrets.
One thing that annoys me is in this movie, this is the first time that Harry notices the Thestrals, which are because in all the other things, it's they get after first year when they go, they take the boat to Hogwarts. In the rest of it, it's supposed to be they get these carriages that pull themselves, but they're not pulling themselves; they're being pulled by Thestrals, which are like skeletal horse-like creatures, which you can only see if you have witnessed death. And what bothered me about this is that this is the first time Harry's ever noticed them, and it's supposed to be because he saw Cedric die. Harry saw both his parents die
Yeah.
when he was a baby.
I'm sure J.K. Rowling's explained that though.
Has she?
I'm sure she said it's because he was a baby. You don't register.
Yeah, but
like
still
in
he
your
saw
brain.
it, though.
In your brain, like that wasn't a registered thing. He doesn't remember it. So
Yeah, I know, but he still saw
I'm
it.
sure that's what she said though. That it's something about actually acknowledging that you've seen death. Something like that. Acknowledging that you've
Because that always annoyed
seen
me,
someone
'cause I
die.
was
Because like
"You've
if you'd seen someone die when you were 1, you wouldn't remember it. Whereas if you saw somebody die when you
Yeah, I
were
know, but that
14.
I just don't think that would make a difference because like they'd seen it.
Well, I think she has explained it, and I think that's the way she explained it.
Well, JK, I don't like it.
JK, you're a JK. This is the first Harry Potter film to be released in IMAX 3D,
Woo woo.
and it has the biggest IMAX opening ever, pulling $1.9 million for IMAX alone.
Christ.
Wow.
If you had the chance, would you see Harry Potter IMAX?
I have.
Did you?
Not that one. I think I saw the last one IMAX.
No, we have a Google finding.
Okay. Harry Potter was unable to see the Thestrals for years after his mother was killed in front of him because he was barely out of babyhood when the murder happened,
Oh, right, okay.
and he had been unable to comprehend his own loss. That even after the death of Cedric Diggory, weeks elapsed before the full import of death's finality was borne upon him. Only at this point did the Thestrals that pulled the carriages from Hogsmeade Station to Hogwarts Castle become visible to him.
Is that not what I said? I think
I
I was
still-
right.
And
Don't
that is
like it.
Pottermore. It is
Yes.
valid.
I just
That is
don't like
valid.
it. I
What are
just
you looking at me for? As if I was disagreeing with you.
I'm just not into
I mean,
it.
I was right. Let's just.
I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
I think that was just a cover. It feels just like a cover up. You
Yeah.
know, just like, oh, I made a mistake. Let's try and.
There
fix
is no
this now.
mistakes. I don't
No,
think.
she's made a mistake.
There's no mistakes.
There are no mistakes in Harry Potter.
I feel like
Lies.
there's
Nah.
a few.
The first time this trailer was ever shown for this film was during the screenings of Happy Feet
Saw it.
in
Oh,
2006.
Happy
I saw
Feet.
Happy Feet 2 in cinemas.
I love Happy Feet.
Yeah. No, I saw Happy Feet in cinemas, not Happy Feet 2.
Yeah. Happy Feet 2 though, also good film.
I don't know if I've seen it, but I think I'd really enjoy Happy Feet
I
back in
have,
2006.
I have to say, the trailer that I remember the most is for Prisoner of Azkaban. That's it's the trailer that I remember the most because of the claw, like the Dementor's hand going
Yeah,
and pulling the
good.
door.
yeah, cool. And this film was released 10 days before the final book was. That would
Ah,
have
yeah, I
that would have
remember
confused me. So 10 days before Deathly Hallows was released as a book form, you got to see Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, and that is funny because that's when I dressed up as Umbridge.
There we go. Yeah. How did that go?
I knew. Oh, let's be honest. My mum decided I'd dress. My mum wasn't gonna let me just go.
Shout
out.
out to your mum.
Yeah, shout out to Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
She wouldn't just let me go dressed as like Hermione or Harry, like all the other kids. I had to be different, so that's why I was the
Good,
Whomping
it's good to be
Willow
different.
and then Dolores Umbridge.
Good.
Yeah.
So Order of the Phoenix.
Good.
Good, bad,
Good.
indifferent.
Yeah, it was good.
They're all. I mean, they're all.
Yeah,
good.
they're all good.
Yeah, it had that awkward kiss as well with Harry and Cho.
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of eating
And
each
they-
other's faces a little bit.
Also, oh yeah. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What?
I got confused. I mixed up two films in my
Blue.
head.
Get fuffled.
Is it this
We'll
one
get-
and the next one?
Yeah,
Is it
we'll get
Lavender?
there.
Yeah,
We'll
get
get
to the
there.
next one.
Yeah.
And then we smoothly move on to July 15th, 2009. And it is indeed Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Woo!
As David Yates returns to direct, giving this film a 7.5 IMDb and a 78 Metascore. And it is the 6th year at Hogwarts. With vacancies to fill at Hogwarts, Professor Dumbledore persuades Horace Slughorn back from retirement to become the potions teacher, with Professor Snape receives long-awaited news. Harry Potter, together with Dumbledore, must face treacherous tasks to defeat his evil nemesis.
I love Slughorn.
Yes,
He's
so
so
Weird.
everybody tell me about Half-Blood Prince. Go.
Well, Half-Blood Prince,
Shoot.
as you know, it's my. If you listen to the previous episode,
Yes.
which you should have, if not, go back. Is my number 3 fave Harry Potter film.
Why?
I just because I loved the book so much and I was so excited to see it, and I think I said in the last one, like, it's just funny.
yeah.
It's
the
dark
humour.
but funny.
Yeah.
It's the humor in it. It's just so funny, especially when Harry drinks the luck
Oh, the
potion.
Felicia's,
Yeah.
Felix,
and he goes out and just
Yeah,
wanders and finds Slughorn and Hagrid.
I love
And-
Slughorn.
And the story about the
Why?
fish, that
Yeah.
Harry gave to Slughorn was so heartfelt and touching.
I love the actor who plays Slughorn.
Oh,
yeah, Jim Broadbent.
I love Jim.
Jim
So remind me about Slughorn.
He's the new potions professor,
Mm-hmm.
and he worked in Hogwarts before, and he's Dumbledore brings him back because he's vital to getting the information on all the Horcruxes, because Dumbledore suspects but is not 100% sure that Voldemort's made these Horcruxes, but Slughorn is the one that basically told
Yeah, because
Tom Riddle how to do everything.
there's like a tampered memory.
Yeah, because he's got a memory, but it's not what actually happened. It shows Slughorn being like, "Oh, get out, boy! You didn't say it." But
Yeah.
Okay.
Slughorn didn't do that. He told him, and then Slughorn feels really awful about it, and he refuses to give the memory. And
Right.
But then
Okay.
after Harry talks about his mother, because Harry's mother was a student of Slughorn,
Yeah, because Slughorn collects students.
really talented students who are ahead of their time or will go somewhere.
So he can get, because there's ones that he's like, "Oh yeah, she's the captain of the Hollywood Harpies. I get season tickets whenever I want," and
Yeah.
people he'll benefit from in the
Like
future.
picking favourites.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he likes to have sets as well.
Okay.
Because he had Sirius Black's brother, Regulus Black, was one of his students,
Right.
and then he's like, "Oh, I never taught Sirius. It's a shame. Would have liked to have the set."
Yeah.
Says it like that.
Cool. So he's good though. We like him.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
him. He's not necessarily one of
He's
the best
bumbling.
characters, but I think Jim Broadbent playing him is one of the best things
Yeah,
ever.
he's good.
He's just such a bumbling little
I just love that his first line in the Merlin's beard.
yeah.
I think though that this book was one of my favourite books,
Yes.
but not one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
I think just because so much had been missed out, and obviously that's
Yeah.
not for this podcast, but
Like,
a lot of plot, like
yeah.
kind of past plot, was missed out. But I did enjoy this film.
Also, this is like really the proper opening up to how fucking shite Ginny is.
Yeah.
It's literally on my notes. It just says Ginny sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Just the
kinda.
bit where they're going to hide the
Yeah.
potions book, and she's like, "I could stay up here too if you like."
I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. I just hate her. I don't understand.
Ah.
I don't understand how like Dean would go out with her and why
No.
Harry would fall in love with.
Yeah,
It's
Dean's
just
sexy as
Dean has got it
fuck.
going on,
Dean
and he can do
was
so much
cool.
better than fucking Ginny Weasley.
Dean has got it going on.
He has.
Who's Dean?
Yeah,
Dean. He's just a beautiful old man.
Oh yes, okay.
beautiful guy.
Time to talk about Maggie Smith for a bit.
Oh please.
Can we?
Oh, Maggie Smith.
Dame Maggie Smith completed filming this film whilst undergoing radiotherapy as treatment for breast cancer.
What a woman.
She's good. Oh yes, this is necessary, of course.
Well done, Maggie.
You did well.
Maggie Smith, go.
I love her.
Fab.
She was perfect as McGonagall. I could not picture anyone better.
So I know a funny fact about me and
know
Maggie. So not too long ago in class, we had to impersonate celebrities, and Neve chose to do Maggie Smith, and she was talking to me about it. And she was like, "I just can't get the accent right." And I was like, "Oh no, you'll be able to do it. It'll be fine. It's just a Scottish accent." And then Neve was like, "Leanne, she's from Essex." I, for my whole life, have believed that Dame Maggie is Scottish.
There you go. That's
I
the sign of a
always
good
thought
actress.
I always thought she was Scottish because in Harry Potter she has a slight Scottish accent, and in other things I've seen her,
thought
and
she
I
was
thought
Scottish
she.
as well, actually.
I've grown up thinking she was Scottish, and when Neve broke the news to me just last year, I genuinely questioned everything. I was
It's
like,
glass shattering. Like,
honestly,
moment.
it was like one of those things where I was like, but if she's not Scottish, am I?
Who else is it? Who else is faking?
Who else is not Scottish?
Leanne, I've got something to tell you.
Oh my god,
Boom.
Christopher.
This has been putting this on. So you did Maggie Smith for your impersonation.
Yeah, she
Who
did.
did you do?
I was Megan McCarthy.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa
Who's
McCarthy.
Megan McCarthy?
I just made one up.
Yeah.
Who did you do?
Amy Poehler.
Oh really? I did Rowan Atkinson.
That was good.
Oh.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very you.
Um,
Do you know Rowan Atkinson, a British actor, not in Harry Potter?
which is weird.
I know.
It's funny. Martin Freeman. There's an interview once where he said he was like, "Yeah, early 2000s. There was a time where me and he said one other British actor were the only British actors not in Harry Potter."
Everybody's in it. It's crazy. It's good though.
yeah.
Yeah. I love
Uh,
how they support it was mainly British actors.
Yeah.
So Half-Blood Prince we all pretty much like,
Yeah, love
except
it.
for Daniel Radcliffe, who said this is his least favourite own performance in the series, stating in an interview in 2004 that he's just not very good in it, and he calls it hard to watch.
That's
Yeah,
fair
but was
enough.
it not because when he was having problems with alcoholism?
I don't
He
know.
said that
I
he
don't
found
wanna
one,
look into these
but he
bad things.
didn't
do you know what I
say
mean?
he didn't say
Like-
what film it was, but he said when he was younger, there's a film that he can't watch because he'd come into set still drunk and he didn't give a good performance.
That's horrible.
But I
don't
think
like
he's teetotal now. I think.
Yeah, he is
Good.
teetotal.
Doesn't- He's teetotal.
Teetotal.
Also, the end of this film
Mm.
is when Dumbledore dies.
The ones.
Do you want to know? See when when Half-Blood Prince came out, before I'd finished it, I was on like a kayaking course or something, and people were obviously everyone. It's open. What else do
Yeah.
we do? And obviously everybody was reading Harry Potter, but some people were like further ahead than I was, and they said that somebody died. And then I was like, oh gosh, don't tell me. And then my brother was like overhearing the conversation, but he hadn't read it yet either, something like that. And then somebody had said it, and he thought that they'd said that Hagrid had died. So me and my brother thought Hagrid had died, and we were so upset. And I remember just us being like so distraught because we were like, no, Hagrid cannot die.
Yeah.
Like,
Hagrid died.
we were like, if Hagrid dies, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
so upset about it. And then my mum had read it the night before, so like we're going home, and my mum like picks us up, and we were like, "Mum, Hagrid's dead." She's like, "No, he's not," Because she'd read it. She'd read it.
Imagine you're in
We'd
the
got-
car.
we'd got-
Mom, he's dead. Hagrid's gone.
We got the books the night before. Obviously, she read it 4 hours, and then like knew it all. Gave us the books so we could read them. We're not that far into it because we're kids. Like, don't
4
read that
hours.
quickly. And we're like, Hagrid is dead, and she's like, Hagrid is not dead.
When I was watching through the films, obviously I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know like any spoilers or anything. So as I was watching, I just didn't really think about like these characters could die. Like Harry Potter could die, and I don't know. So then Dumbledore dies in this one, and I was like,
Wait, what?
I wasn't really thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay.
It was,
Wait a
Do you know
minute.
what? Do you know what? Dumbledore's death did not affect me as much as I thought it would.
Probably because
Loki-
Michael
Michael
Gambon.
Gambon.
No, see when I was...
What?
no, you go because mine's a long story.
What
Sorry.
affected me more than the actual death was when they all put their
Yeah.
wands
Yeah.
up, and they did that when Alan Rickman died as well.
Oh no.
People went out into the streets with their
Yeah.
wands and raised their wands.
At the Harry Potter Orlando, they put like all the staff went and.
Well,
Put their ones up.
For those at home, I put my thumbs up instead of my wand.
Like, one of my friends had never seen any of the films or read any of the books. Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa.
let's show you
Hi,
something.
Alyssa.
Shout Alyssa.
And so she decided when she was living with me, I was going to let her read a book, then watch film, read a book, watch film, read a book.
Yeah.
And I was she'd moved up to Stirling by the time she was on the 6th book, and she came, like, I was just sitting in her kitchen, and she came out like in so many tears, like,
Oh,
what?
no.
I can't believe Dumbledore's dead. So I was like, it's okay, come here. So
Yeah.
that must be a pretty special way to do it though, like read, watch.
Yeah, I
I wish I'd
would
done that,
love nothing more to
I'd
just
still be on
not know
Chamber of
it,
Secrets.
Yeah.
to not know anything about it, and then
And go
get
back.
to go back and relive it.
I felt like I was reliving it through her. She was like, "Oh my god, this happened!" I
Yeah.
was like, "No."
I did say to my friend one time, I was like, yeah, but this is before I watched them. I was like, I've never seen Harry Potter. I've just about to start them. How jealous are you?
I'm jealous.
Worst.
I'm jealous. I see when you were saying like you're like, oh, I'm on this film. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
I was, I've not seen Goblet of Fire yet, and Mason's like, oh, Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, didn't like this film, but J.K. Rowling says this is her favourite one.
Me and JK.
You and J.K. Brilliant.
Big up.
This is the only this is the only Harry Potter film to be nominated for Best Cinematography,
Oh.
and Warner Brothers received death threats for pushing the movie's release date to 2009, as it was scheduled to be released in 2008. So this was supposed to come out.
Death threats.
This was supposed to come out in 2008, which was just a year after the last one, and they pushed it another year. And people
Like
sent
another
death
full
threats.
year.
Another full year.
Nobody made a big deal about Prisoner of Azkaban, but
Because they didn't push that full year though. I
Yeah,
think
they
only
did.
pushed that 6 months or
If
something.
if someone was to push,
November to May.
see if I was now, right? Oh no, okay, but it wasn't a big deal back then.
no, I know, but I'm just saying.
But like, it's a lifestyle by this point. So see if right now I went on Twitter and I saw that The Last Jedi is not coming out until 2020. I would send death threats.
Oh,
Yeah,
You know?
true.
I wouldn't send death threats, but I would
I would
a
tweet my displeasure.
a strongly worded letter.
Yeah. And they'd read it out on the show, and I would like.
Yeah, buggies.
But yeah, the whole Half-Blood Prince thing was so cleverly
Aye.
thought out.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
when Harry.
everyone-
It's when Harry uses Septum Sceptra tries to use it on Snape, and then Snape's like, "You use my spells." You're like,
So what were you saying earlier on? You said, "Oh, just wait the Half-Blood Prince." Have you said it yet?
well, I mean, I can wait till right. Okay,
Oh,
so
Snape.
here's controversial, right?
Snape's
So
controversial. He's a controversial character.
because I'm sorry, Snape's not a good guy.
Wait, no, I said that.
No, you fucking didn't.
No, that's what I think.
No, but that's what I think.
But like
I don't think we thought about this.
who have I been fighting with?
the whole thing is that
No,
even
because
if-
I said that like, oh,
His-
Harry shouldn't have named his kid
Yeah.
after Snape. He should have named him after like Hagrid or something, who's been there for him and actually liked him.
I agree.
Weird.
I agree with that as well because not
Wow,
only
I thought I was gonna cause a big fight.
no, but I agree with that because no matter what Snape's reasoning was, he was still an arsehole to his students. He was still a bully.
I
he was
have
still
been
a
Especially to
Well,
Harry, he
horrible
didn't
man.
like Harry, and that, like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
But Neville, Neville was because he could have been the chosen one instead of Harry.
Oh, that's a shame.
Right, can I just say, so like everyone's like, oh yeah, but he did all of this because, you know, he's double agent and all that. Anything Snape did was not for the greater good of anybody else. It was all because he had a pathetic love for Lily Potter, but she did not love him back. Like, see in the movie, I think it's in Deathly Hallows Part 2, sorry. It shows like Snape's memories and it goes back, and then you've got Snape going to Godric's Hollow just after the Potters have been killed. The baby is in, like, baby Harry's in the crib howling. Just witnessed his parents killed. Got this big scar on his forehead. Snape comes in, ignores the child, grabs Lily's dead body, walks over her dead husband's body, grabs Lily's body and hugs and
Cradles.
yeah, I know, but and hugs and cradles that crying, ignoring the child behind him.
It's all very sad, but he's not a good.
He's not a good
Like,
guy.
he's brave in what he did with the double agent thing, but like he's not.
But he didn't do it. For
He wasn't
the greater
nice
good
to
of other
Harry.
people.
He could
He's
have
a
been
great
nice.
character. He's not a good
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what's annoying.
Fab
Is so many
character.
people like give him like the sainthood. Like no, anything he
Harry
did. Was,
does it. He names his kid
yeah,
after
I know
him.
that's.
I know.
Well, I was reading the thing earlier actually because I was like, I want to know like why do people like think it's great? But it was like that Harry did it because he forgave Snape.
Yeah.
Because of the sacrifice he did make was like because he obviously gave his life and did all the double agent shit. Yeah, it was because of this pathetic love he had for Harry's mum, but it was like Harry did it because what he did was brave and he forgave him. So it's like shows that Harry's kind of a better person, but don't fucking name your child after him.
Yeah, Hagrid would have been a better name.
I mean,
Well-
Albus Rubius.
That's got a ring to it.
Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna phone JK up.
Make another film, JK.
Albus Rubius.
Albus
like that. I might name my kid that
Kinda
actually.
like Albus Rubius McMaster. Oh god, do we give our last names? Have I just let them know who I am?
Put their Twitter up before and stuff. So
No, they do. I was joking.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the Half-Blood Prince debacle. However, I do
Wasn't
think
actually chaotic as I thought it was
Yeah,
going
I
to
know.
be.
I genuinely thought I was going to cause such issue because I thought you really liked him.
No,
'Cause my mum loves him. My mum really likes Snape, and we fought. But also, my mum hates Slytherins, and it annoys me so much. I'm like, mother, you raised me better than to hate people.
I don't get me wrong. I loved Snape. Snape's one of my favorite characters. I just don't think that he should have been praised as a saint for what he did.
Because he's no.
He was a martyr. He gave his life, and that was very brave and
But
commendable.
you abused an 11-year-old
yeah,
child, and
he
never.
was still an arsehole.
Another point also is, see, the only reason that Snape told Dumbledore and did the whole double agent thing was because he thought Harry was the chosen one.
Yeah.
If he thought Neville was the chosen one,
He wouldn't
have
have
done it. He would have carried on being a Death
He
Eater
wouldn't
and killing people and shit.
Yeah, he wouldn't have
So
done
do you know
anything.
what? He's a shite bag.
Love
But Alan
Alan
Rickman.
But
Oh, I love him.
love Alan Rickman. But yeah, the whole thing about him being horrible to Neville because he could have been the chosen one,
And then Lily wouldn't have died.
But Lily still would not have gone with you, Snape.
Lily was in love with James Potter. You
I-
called her a filthy little mudblood.
yeah, I remember like when this book
Don't
came
use that
out.
language.
I remember when this
You
book
can say
came out.
cunt, wank, shit, but you say mudblood, get the fuck out.
Yeah, when this came out and everyone was like, "Oh, we knew it all along. Snape was bad. Snape killed Dumbledore and stuff." And my dad was like, "No, he's not bad. There's something else going on.
I
here.
do
He's
love.
not bad."
I do love the dynamic of having sort of Snape always giving Harry the benefit of the doubt throughout the films, though, and we don't really know why until the last one. I thought that was quite smart.
Does he give him the benefit?
He does. He lets him away with a lot of shit.
Wait, Harry?
Yeah.
Does he
The
fuck?
only reason that Harry gets away with the shit that he does is because
Because
McGonagall and Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Snape wants to like expel him. Snape wants to expel him after the second one.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
I
He's
would
like, if you were
expel-
if you were in my house,
You would have been
He
expelled.
wouldn't have done that.
But yes, he would have.
he would have done anything he could to get the fuck out of Harry Potter's life.
Also, he
Looked too
basically
much
was
like
the one
his
that let
father.
out to the
Yeah.
parents that Lupin was a werewolf, did he not? or
Yeah, he
something?
did. Snape's a shite bag. Sorry, everybody who
But
loves
wasn't-
him.
wasn't
But
that
Snape
because-
is a shite bag.
Wasn't-
Get it up,
The
yeah.
whole thing with Snape and Lupin, wasn't that because Lupin almost killed him as a werewolf once? Which is also why he hates Sirius, because Sirius set him up.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no, it's
yeah,
James
yeah,
set him
yeah.
up, but that
Like,
was
yes,
that's all book
Snape was
stuff.
bullied as a child doesn't mean as an adult he needs to go on and bully children.
The cycle repeats itself.
Snape is a shite bag.
Get over it.
Come on, everybody. Anyway,
Nice little segue into our top 5. This is our top 5 favourite Harry Potter characters. Are we all ready?
I don't have them in an order.
No, me neither.
We'll get them in an order.
Oh no, I don't have. No,
I can't do
Jesus.
them in an order.
I'm just doing them as
Too much
a
stress.
little thing. It is
I
too
can't
much
do them
stress.
in
don't
an
know.
Okay.
At least you've got 5 this time.
Yeah, I know. Here's my. Okay, I guess I'll go first. My top 5 favourite Harry Potter characters.
Movie characters, yeah.
Movie characters. 5, Hermione.
Uh-huh.
4,
Just 'cause you wanna... That's...
don't go there. It may be true, but don't go there. Number 4, Dumbledore.
Uh-huh. Richard Harris, though, obviously.
Yeah, of course. 3, Sirius Black. 2, Snape.
Yeah.
And number 1, my favourite character is Hagrid.
Oh yeah,
Ah, yeah. Okay.
that's good.
There you go.
That's
Is that
good.
okay?
Yeah, I appreciate you. You're fine. Good choices.
I'm
Well
fine.
done. Well done, son.
Off the hook.
It's okay.
Right, go, Leanne.
And mine are not ordered because
Honestly, part-timers here, ladies and gentlemen. Part-timers.
she not part timer. Anyway, so all the animals, yeah, including Mrs. Norris,
Ah, yeah.
because do you know what? She's doing her job.
She did a good job.
What about
She's
Peach
been-
Pettigrew?
No, because he's not an. Oh, well, he's an animal.
He's an
But
animagus.
Like, what about
He's
when
an
he was
animagus.
he's an
Scabbers?
animagus. I don't. It's like
Scabbers.
No. Scabbers. Yeah, Scabbers when he's not. Stop taking a video of me.
I wasn't.
Yeah, all the animals, including Mrs. Norris,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, love Buckbeak, Hedwig.
Fan.
Hedwig is the worst death for me.
Oh.
The
This
number.
is not top 5 least favourite deaths. This is top 5 Harry Potter characters on
Anyway,
the Good
and
Bit
then
podcast.
so we've also got Dumbledore, but Richard Harris, of course.
Of course.
I've got Arthur Weasley
Uh-huh.
because he's just that. Also, the guy who plays Arthur Weasley, I've forgotten his name right now, but he's just a wonderful actor. He just warms your
Really
heart.
is.
Wonderful.
He's wonderful. He's good. So I love Arthur Weasley. I've got Slughorn because I
Nice.
don't know why, I just love Slughorn. And then I'd say probably number 1 favourite character, Hagrid.
Yes, Leanne.
I also got some honourable mentions of all the
I was
Weasleys.
going to say,
All the-
honourable mentions all other characters.
All the Weasleys and
Everyone else.
McGonagall.
Ah,
Because you said 5.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Claude.
Okay, in no
Wait.
particular order.
Curly Sue.
In no particular order.
In a particular order?
I've got Sirius Black.
Mhm.
Good one.
That's a good one.
Voldemort, because
Oh, actually,
yeah.
yeah. You know what? Yeah.
the main
No,
villain,
he's
he
a hero.
makes
Don't like him.
he makes the story he is the main villain.
Yeah.
He is.
Like, you have to
Of
have
course,
a good,
he's the main villain.
I'm just saying there's loads of
What a
villains.
shock! Voldemort, the main
I
villain
wasn't
of
saying,
Harry
oh,
Potter.
did you know he was the main villain? I just mean, like, you need a really good main villain, like, or else your story's lost.
Yeah, I agree. No,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree with that. I agree.
Hagrid.
Good trip.
Right, Chris, who's been giving us in trouble for bumping the table
Me.
all
Such-
day,
I'm such a dick. I'm sorry.
has just done it with his massive knee.
I mean, all week.
Right. Hagrid.
Hagrid, yes, carry on. Back in the room.
Snape. Although he's a shite bag, great character.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree
Okay.
100%.
He's a shite bag.
No, Snape is a shite bag, but what a character.
But he's my number 2.
Honestly, great character and great casting and great acting and
My mum's
everything.
gonna listen to this and she's gonna get so annoed that I've said Snape is
Sorry,
a shite bag
Jenny.
so much.
Jenny, thank you for listening to the show.
And
Yes.
also
Every week.
Ron Weasley.
Do you know what?
And that is just because I want to fuck him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jenny.
Well, at least you can admit it.
No, I do love Ron Weasley.
Honesty is key.
I love Rupert Grint.
Yeah.
One of my sexual awakenings. Honestly, you've just knocked that table.
It just annoys me sometimes about the time he says, bloody hell.
No,
Oh,
he
my
was
God.
so good in it when
Change the
he's
record.
when he's got the love potion and
Yeah.
he's like so.
He's got
Yeah,
that
that is
little, he's hugging
hilarious.
his
Yeah, I
husband.
love
That
him
is
so
hilarious.
much. Like, he's such a good actor. Rupert Grint,
Yeah.
get in my
Do you know my
bed right
dad
now.
loves like in Philosopher's Stone? I remember because he just thought bloody hell was one of the funniest things ever. That and Hagrid being like, I shouldn't have said that. Like my dad always says that he thinks it's one of the
Yeah.
funniest things
But that's
ever.
also one of Rupert Grint's favourite things that he said during it.
Because he got to swear.
Yeah, because he got to swear and he was too young, so he wasn't allowed to do it.
That's a cool thing for a child to do, though. like,
Yeah.
I remember when I first had to like swear in a play in school. I was like, Mum, you can't come and see the show. I say the word ass. Didn't want that to
That's
happen.
cute.
Okay,
Neville.
Neville.
Okay, so this is in no particular order because I can't order them.
I agree. I agree.
I don't.
Well, whose podcast is this?
True.
It's the fans podcast.
Yes, this is for the people. Go.
Sirius Black. Love Sirius Black.
Classic, iconic.
Iconic. Lovely guy.
Really, honestly.
Remus Lupin.
I
Yeah.
did have him on and then I bumped him off. I'm so sorry.
He's
Don't apologise.
I love him. He
Yeah.
like
I get it.
for you with Ron, it's me with
Oh, you want to
with
fuck Remus Lupin?
yeah.
Hmm.
Just a lot.
Yeah, I get it.
Interesting.
Just a little bit.
Interesting.
Just a little
As a
bit.
werewolf.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry.
I'd say
Bestiality's not on the table here.
I'd say no, but
I don't know, Cyrus Black as a dog is very...
Oh, what a dog though! I love that dog. Oh.
Anyway, keep going.
sorry, what?
No, I'm not gonna fuck the dog. Right, can we edit that out? My mum
Hey,
listens.
come on!
So Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, Severus Snape.
Yeah.
Just even though he is a shite bag, he is a brilliant character.
Sorry, Jenny.
I'm very sorry, Jenny. I do love the character though. I love.
This is why you should have ordered it.
Shot.
That's why you made a list.
Yeah.
Write your
Shut.
notes.
You made the list.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Ah, good one, good one.
Yeah, I forgot
Really-
Bellatrix.
Yeah.
I do like Bellatrix.
Particularly like Hermione playing Bellatrix playing
Playing
Hermione
playing
playing
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix.
Yeah.
So weird.
It is Helena Bonham Carter playing Emma Watson, playing Hermione, playing Bellatrix,
Yeah.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
And your
Bell-
favourite character?
Yeah.
It's gotta be Hermione.
Nah, I'm
Draco
almost a shite
Malfoy.
bag.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
baby boy.
Sexy
Boy.
Tom.
Woo!
Woo woo!
Actually, no, I take that back. What you feel for Ron, I feel for,
Yeah,
for Draco.
totally.
I can't. There's just something about him.
Why don't I have this feeling?
I do for Tom Felton.
Maybe I have it for Hagrid, who knows?
I think
Tom
you do.
Felton, Draco Malfoy. I love him. Honorable mentions are
I've got another honourable.
You had your time.
honorable mentions. Tonks,
Uh-huh.
Lucius Malfoy,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
and Molly Weasley.
Uh-huh.
Fred and George as well.
Uh-huh.
Just everyone.
I forgot one. Kingsley Shacklebot.
Oh yeah, Kingsley.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
gotta
Big
say
Kingsley,
Dumbledore
Door's got style.
I feel a certain way about him as well.
As a big man.
A little shout out to Lucy Hill, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, who's a huge Harry Potter fan. When I put her on the spot on one of the old episodes and said, favourite Harry Potter character right now, she went, Mrs. Weasley.
Aww.
Aw, Molly is great. Not my daughter, you
Bitch.
Yeah. Take that one, whoever she said that to.
Oh, the
Ronald Weasley.
How dare you steal that car?
Okay,
the
so there goes
Howler.
everybody.
The Howler was
Yeah.
genius.
Right.
There you go, that was our top 5 favourite Harry Potter characters. Ba-dum-bum. Now it's time for the final instalment. We're going to cover both parts of the Deathly Hallows.
Are we lumping them into?
Yeah, we're
one?
lumping. Let's
Yes,
lump
we're
them.
lumping.
Sure,
We should
whatever.
lump.
Or lump it.
Okay, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 was released on the 19th of November 2010.
A day after my birthday.
And Part 2 was released on the 15th of July 2011, the shortest time between films being released in the Harry Potter series. Both directed by David Yates. Part 1 has a 7.7 on IMDb, Part 2 has an 8.1, holy shit.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Part 1, Voldemort's power is growing stronger. He now has control over the Ministry of Magic and Hogwarts. Harry, Ron and Hermione decide to finish Dumbledore's work and find the rest of the Horcruxes to defeat the Dark Lord. But little hope remains for the trio and the rest of the wizarding world, so everything they do must go as planned. Whilst filming the 7 Harrys scene,
That's so
it was
funny.
so complex
I love
that
that
Daniel
scene.
Radcliffe counted over 90 takes just for a single shot. We're getting into fucking Gregor Duncan level there. Upon seeing the set for Hermione's bedroom, Emma Watson told the set decorators that there should be more books, which they happily accommodated. Reminded me of you, that's why I put it in here.
Yay.
And this is the first film, Part 1, Deathly Hallows Part 1, is the first film to have J.K. Rowling as a producer.
Woo.
Yeah, so Part 1, when it came out, where you was all like, I want to see Part 2 right now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or be
Oh,
happy
yeah.
to wait.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the way that it ended.
Yeah.
Then remind me and the listeners, how does it end?
The way that it ended was that they discovered that the Elder Wand, part of the Deathly Hallows, was with Dumbledore in his tomb. And
Yeah,
at
that's
the
right.
very end, Voldemort has now got the wand,
Yeah.
and
He's
that's where
broken
it
into
ended.
Dumby's
Oh.
tomb.
And also, Dobby dies.
Dobby died.
Yeah, that was
so
a really,
does
that was
I
a
have
sad
to
bit.
say
No.
that
She
that
dies at the
torture
start of the next
scene.
one.
No, she dies at the start of Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Oh yeah.
Her Hedwig.
Oh yeah, she does.
That's breaks my heart. There's no need.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
kill
a sad
animals.
scene, yeah.
I'm done with it.
That torture scene.
Yeah.
And it's lying down now.
That
and
torture
it'll break.
scene was good.
Yeah.
As far as torture scenes
Also, yeah,
go,
you see a little bit of Draco's humanity when he
Yeah.
doesn't ID Harry straight away. Like he knows.
Draco, my
He
boy.
knows that's Harry. Like there is a
Why
bit
does that?
good in Draco. He's just
No,
in
Draco.
a,
It's because of the family he's been
yeah, he's
raised
in a
in.
really
He's got
shit
to.
situation. Also, do you know what I sometimes wonder? See in the first movie when he's like, "Let's be friends." Like, imagine Harry was just like, "Yeah,"
What would have
I
happened?
think you're a
because
dick.
like, what would even like happen then? Be like, "Oh, do you want to come over to my house?" And then everyone hates him.
I mean, that's what happens in the play. Because
All right, well,
no, I'm not saying that's what happens in the play, but I'm
Can
being like
we
in the
just
play
not?
because Harry's son and Draco's son become best pals.
Okay, well, I didn't know
It
that.
happens in like the
Scorpius
first 10
Malfoy.
seconds.
Well, I know, but I wanted to read it or see it.
Well, you should have read it by now. It's been out for a
Yeah, but I
while.
wanted to see it.
Yeah, we all want to see it.
You're not the only one.
So Dobby's death.
Yeah, it's
It's
horrible.
quite sad. I
Yeah.
didn't feel it as much as other people did.
I think
didn't
maybe
feel
if
a connection to
if
Dobby.
you'd read the books, because
Yeah.
Dobby's in every single book and he's not in every single film. Like
Yeah.
from the second one on, Dobby's in every single
House
book.
elves are far more.
And he's
in
a far more
books.
prominent character in the and he helps out Harry a lot more. So I think the book readers probably felt that more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
just
it was
Dobby's undying faith in Harry Potter is just.
yeah.
That
And
was
just
sad.
like
He had to
undying,
say
like
Harry
need to be
Potter.
just like different from what he's supposed to be and
Yeah.
just out there.
Also, that see at the start of that film when Hermione obliviates her parents' memory, I cried so
Yeah.
hard at that. Like I was literally like,
Already got me there.
you know, that was like what, not even 5 minutes into the film, and I was like crying so hard. I remember my mum looking at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with her?"
No, but like you could imagine that if you were in her position, you would do the same thing.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. I love the fact that like J.K. Rowling has said that in like later on after the stories of after the books ended, Hermione goes to find her parents in Australia and gets them back. Like I think that's nice.
Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out in the summer of 2011, and I remember when this came out and everybody went to go see it and stuff. And
I
I
would
was
say
just
it
like,
five
I
times.
watched the premiere live stream
oh really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't go obviously because I hadn't seen them, but I remember it being a big thing.
because the premiere was like a week before it actually came out. I think.
The end of an era. It was.
Yeah.
And the tagline for this film was "It all ends."
I
Because
know.
it
I
was
remember that was in the posters.
So
and
great.
I have all the posters.
Harry, Ron and Hermione continue their quest on finding and destroying the Dark Lord's 3 remaining Horcruxes, the magical items responsible for his immortality. But as the mystical Deathly Hallows are uncovered and Voldemort finds out about their mission, the biggest battle begins and life as they know it will never be the same again.
Yeah, like Deathly Hallows Part 1 was definitely the build up, and then it all
You know
just
what?
kicks off. Like, it's very much more like action,
Yeah,
action.
I was told-
straight into the battle, basically.
I was
Yeah.
told that Part 1 isn't as widely well received as the other one, but I really enjoyed the first
I
No,
know,
I
one.
yeah,
love
I
it.
think people didn't like it because it wasn't like people
It
fighting.
wasn't at Hogwarts.
Yeah, and it wasn't
It's the
just
first
fighting
one. It's
all
the
the
first
time.
one to not be
They're
have
quite-
anything at Hogwarts.
Yeah, they're going around. It's quite not slow, but it's a build up. And
I
you-
really
you
liked
need
it.
to have that. You can't just have them go straight into Hogwarts and fuck shit up.
The Hogwarts battle,
It's
that
crazy, yeah.
destroying the castle was
It's almost too much.
It's heartbreaking.
It's
Because you're
heartbreaking.
like all the actors say that as well. Like it was really hard to see Hogwarts in pieces because like they've been working and living on this set for the past 10 years, and
Yeah.
then suddenly
Crazy.
you're destroying it because that's what they did. They just destroyed it and wouldn't put it back up. So
Just to do your duty to your school.
yeah,
Always wanted to use that spell. Love that line.
So good.
Let's see, any fun facts for the final film. Following the completion of this film, most of the Hogwarts sets were put on display for the public as part of the Warner Brothers studio tour in London, which we'll get to after this
love
film.
it.
Yeah.
Kelly MacDonald was the last person to be cast. Kate Winslet was first considered for and reportedly offered the role as Helena Ravenclaw.
Oh,
That would be interesting. The role was rejected by her agent because, listen to this, her agent refused to give her the role because she said that she wasn't able to consider it because Winslet would not want to follow suit with every other actor in Britain being part of Harry Potter. She just didn't want to be a part of Harry Potter because
So was that her
everyone else was doing
agent
it.
saying that, or
Yeah.
Kate Winslet's just said that?
that's ridiculous.
And the role went to Kelly MacDonald.
Every actor in Britain wants
She's
to
like,
be
she's
in
not
it.
just going to be another actor. She's Kate Winslet.
Well, I'm glad she wasn't in it. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
alright with that.
It currently sits as the 8th highest grossing film of all time.
Yep.
With over 25,000 items of clothing and costuming being used over the whole franchise.
Well, they had to make like over, was it like 200 ones for Daniel Radcliffe because he
Wait,
would break them.
I have it here.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
Because he would just play. He used them
He
as
would, like,
used it as a
drum them.
drumstick.
160 pairs.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, you would drum them and then
Yeah.
they would break.
Yeah. Great.
I'd,
I mean, why would you do that?
definitely do that. I'd
Yeah.
definitely be that person.
On the final day of filming, Rupert Grint gave his co-stars Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson a trumpet there was no real reason behind the gift. Just there you go.
He
Love you, Rupert.
That's the funny thing is I love as well is like the three of them are their characters because
Yeah.
when they were asked like what they would do with like their first paycheck, like Hermione, Emma Watson was like, "Well, I'll put it in savings." Daniel Radcliffe, what did he? I can't remember what he said, but it was just something like relatively normal. And then Rupert Grint's like, "Well, I'll buy an ice cream truck or something," because that's what
Yeah.
he's done.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Rupert
done
Grint has bought an ice cream truck and he's bought like he's just bought all the weird shit. Like when you're a kid and you say like
You
if you had
just
all this
want all
money
this stuff.
you'd buy all the weird shit. He buys all the weird shit.
That's
It's great.
cool.
Like he is the little kid that got famous and
I feel
spent
like
his
he'd
money
be
on
cool
any
to
stupid
meet,
things.
you know, he'd be cool to know.
Yeah, he said that he was on that programme with Tom Felton in it, and he was like, I can't say no to fans, and Tom Felton's like, you don't say that in front of the camera. He's like, no, I was like out and this drag queen came up to me and she invited me back to her house, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't say no, so I ended up back at this drag queen's house having a couple of drinks. And he was like, do not say on TV that you will do anything your fans ask you.
That's so funny.
It is possible that Neville Longbottom has killed the most people in the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Because with dozens of Voldemort's followers probably dying after Neville destroys the bridge in the final installment.
Fair enough.
Fuck, Neville's brutal, eh?
I loved that bit. I thought that was great.
I
That
love
Neville's
Neville.
the-
It's
Neville's
Neville.
the saviour.
It's just I love that he does the Battle of Hogwarts in such a pretty little cardigan.
He was also in my top, and I bumped him off.
Yeah, he should have been in my top list. I think he was a great character.
He's a
Like
good
Matthew
Neville.
Lewis, I love how they just had to like ugly him up.
Yeah, but then in
Yeah.
the last film they're like, actually, do you know what? Let's just
But
let
even
him go.
Yeah,
still,
very
like,
handsome,
I
isn't
think
he?
even they
You
gave him
still
like
got
a little padding and stuff.
Yeah, because
like
you had to
that.
wear buck teeth in one of the films for sure.
Yeah.
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 I
And they
think it
pushed his.
was-
They definitely pushed his ears forward. In
Yeah,
a lot of the
yeah,
film.
they
Like he
did.
had to wear like little things.
Because he blossomed.
he Neville'd hard. Like
He
he,
never
honestly
loved
did.
him.
Blossomed.
He did
Puberty
blossom.
did well on that one.
He is
Honestly, you know when
sexy.
people like post pictures of themselves and they're like, "Oh, thank you, puberty," and I'm like, "You've done all right,"
Yeah.
but like, you're no Matthew
That's
Lewis.
the thing though. Like the casting went a bit wrong because Neville's supposed to be like
Really,
ugly throughout the full thing, and they cast a little ugly fat kid, like kind of cute,
Yeah.
but like an ugly fat kid, just expecting him to stay
And
that
then
way, and he
he's
like got so stunning. They were like, yeah, that was not what we wanted.
Yeah.
Let's make him uglier.
Because like Hermione, Harry, and Hermione, Harry, and Ron, they looked exactly the way they should at the start of the film, and they looked exactly the way they
Yeah.
should at the end. But for some reason, you've got Neville who gets like he's like this little podgy guy. He's got these big
And
buck
he's,
teeth,
like,
and
skinny,
then
but-
whoo,
Woo!
Jesus
Whoa, he
Christ!
blossomed.
And Alan Rickman did not change.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Did not age.
He did not.
Neither did Dumbledore.
Fuck him.
That was a wee joke because they did change.
Yeah.
It's not well received.
No, it's not.
No.
So there you go. There's all 8 Harry Potter films covered.
Woo!
Can we just
We
talk
barely
about
even talked about Voldemort.
Can we just, no, that I was about to. Can we just talk about one final thing
I was gonna
for
say,
Was it his death and how shit
Deathly
it
Hallows
is?
Part 2 is the hug
Oh yeah.
between
Draco.
What's the hug?
Draco and Voldemort. He just kind of one
he's like
arm.
yeah and he's like
Hug them.
No,
yeah
no.
and
Does
it's,
a little
very
squeeze.
long.
Like,
it's Voldemort's laugh as well like wait I can't it's like wait
I feel like kind of went
Oh my
into it.
god.
so that's what it's like.
That is the laugh.
I feel like
though.
we've not talked about Voldemort.
Yeah, okay,
Can we,
let's do it.
can we
Let's
talk about
Yeah.
the disgusting mess that is Voldemort's death? Because
Yeah.
Voldemort
Oh,
is supposed
yeah.
to die a mortal death, and then they gave him
I
this
know.
fantastic.
This is for books to film.
It's like
yeah,
Because I could talk
papery-
so long about this.
stupid. I hate it.
It was just
No.
for IMAX. You could tell it was for the IMAX 3D
Yeah.
like the effect. But anyway, Ray Fiennes was so
I
good.
think it's great, yeah.
he was great.
excellent.
Total, like, historically one of the biggest movie villains ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voldemort
And like
is such an interesting character as well.
the way he kills Snape is just so sad as well.
Oh no, I hated that bit. Oh.
Ugh, I did not hate it at
Just
all.
the way he did, like, that was quite fucking brutal.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. Fuck him. Shite back.
Oh wow, Jenny, just turn the podcast off.
Jenny, your daughter's going crazy.
She's probably turned it off
My
by
mum's
now.
gonna be really, mum's gonna be really excited. She's like, "Oh my god, I've been mentioned a lot."
Oh, that'll get us. So yeah, Voldemort. Anything else to say on Voldemort?
Just excellent.
Just
Yeah,
really
well done for
all round, well done.
Yeah.
making it such a memorable book to
Yeah.
film kind of
Yeah.
adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird when you see him with the like little green dots
Yeah.
when he's actually got a nose.
Yeah.
You're like, that doesn't
God.
not
It's the,
really
it's, the
great.
photo, it's a
Very
photo of Voldemort. It's like Voldemort, Bellatrix, and Dumbledore all standing together, like smiling and happy, and everyone's like,
What's
"Voldemort's
wrong
got
with
a
this
nose."
photo?
We'd be all watching it together as a family, and my mum would say every single time he came on screen, "He's so ugly." I was like, "Mum, he's not got a nose."
Oh, but he's actual stunning in real life.
Ah,
Rafe,
yeah.
actual Rafe mate right up. I don't know.
You know what's funny though is I only
Right
thought
me up.
Rafe me up.
Honestly, Rafe me.
I always thought he was called
Sound
Ralph.
bite.
I thought he was called Ralph.
Ralph Fiennes.
That's how it's spelled.
It's how it's
but
spelled.
It's
Right.
Rafe.
So, a simple mistake to make. But for ages I've been like, yes, Ralph Fiennes, and everyone's like, Rafe. And I've been like,
Oh, Rafe.
I was like, fuck up with Rafe. It's Ralph. Look how it's spelled.
It has an
with
L.
What?
It has an L.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Yeah.
Ralph. Everybody.
So last year, Neville here went to, not last year, earlier
No.
this year.
I went during the. When did I go?
Easter break?
Easter break.
Yeah,
I went to
Neville
the,
went to the Harry Potter studios.
I've been as well.
Yeah.
Well, go on then, have you been?
No.
Well, tell us about your experience.
No.
I want to hear about it because don't spoil it. I know
Go.
it's not much you can spoil, but like
It's just amazing.
It was magical.
oh,
No, it was.
So happy.
So, and specifically this time.
It's a vocal warm up.
Back into the room.
3, 2, 1, leave.
Especially this time because we. Oh gosh.
Claudia's just did a funny laugh. I don't know if I've left it in or not. If I've taken it out, this is why we're laughing.
oh, don't do that. I mean, in fact, when does he even laugh?
3 hours.
Oh.
He's like dumb. He's like, because Harry's dead. He's like Harry and Harry. He's like,
It's when he's like doing the last spell to do the shield. He's like,
Oh,
it was in the trailer, but I don't think it was in the film. He's
Voldemort's like a plane. You know, Formula 1 going fast, really fast.
oh Leanne, your laugh is my favourite.
I'm sorry. Right.
Anyway, we're talking about Harry Potter Studios. Go
Back
on,
in the
Neville.
room.
Stop. Oh, this is Griffith's
For
getting
God's sake!
Keep it together.
Right, jeez.
We've got places to be, guys.
Here we go. Go. Let's, do you know what? Thanks for listening to
Right, anyway, so
Yeah, it was magical.
It-
We
it-
got it.
It was honestly better this time because they've opened new
Yeah.
parts of it, and
They're
it'll
not opening a new park or something, or the forest.
yeah, they're
The Forbidden Forest.
they're opening the
That is going so well.
they're
Watch my laptop now.
they're opening the Forbidden Forest, and there's gonna be Buckbeak and Aragog, and I don't know what else is gonna be there, but
And you're going to be there.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
But they opened new parts of the with the Hogwarts Express, and Privet Drive is now open. You
Oh,
can
really?
go inside.
Oh, you can go inside it
Yeah.
now. Oh, it wasn't like that when I went.
Yeah, it's just recently opened.
That's exciting. I want to go. Me and my mum want to take my dad.
Okay, I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think we're getting
Yeah,
a bit
I think
Yeah. I think it's time for some food.
yes.
Yeah, so I want to thank the three of you for providing me with this episode. I couldn't have done it without you. I did want to do a Harry Potter episode, so you three were the best choices.
You were about to say I didn't want to do it without you.
If I could do every episode just myself, I would, but I can't.
I would
So-
listen to that.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining me. It's been good fun. I now know a lot more about Harry Potter than I did coming in. Hopefully, the listeners have enjoyed both parts, if you've or one part if you've only listened to this one. And yeah, there you go, Harry Potter.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Couple
It's
of
been magical.
Yeah, whoa.
Bye.
Bye, Mum.
This is the Good Bit Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at the Good Bit Pod, and you can follow us on Instagram at the Good Bit Pod. You can get us on Facebook, Good Bit Podcast. Get us all individually on Twitter if you
Yes.
just want to put out your accounts.
Mine is Leanne
XOX.
with 3 E's on the end. XOX.
You are,
Claudia Kelly 08.
and you are.
Neve Bar or something
Neve-
like that.
at
It's like
Neve
Barrow.
Bar.
It's Barrow something.
It's
You've got like
it's
numbers.
like Neve.
I mean, if-
Neve Neve Nov.
If you search Neve Bar, she'll probably
Yeah.
come up.
Yeah.
And I'm at
You'll find me.
CM42TV, and you can get us everywhere else on the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. This has been fun. I hope you've all enjoyed. Join us next time for some more incredible, fun, and loving and magical movie chapter here on the Good Bit Podcast. Recognize.
Sounds in